Konnichiwa, and welcome to our next Sloan family adventure. And this time, we are headed to where else? The land of the rising sun. That would be Japan. And we've been a few times, but we've never taken Caleb. He wasn't old enough the last time we went. And we've told him that this is going to be like being in a science fiction movie, a bizarre parallel universe, but Japan is just one of our very favorite countries, so we're super excited to share it with Caleb. We're not so excited to share the jet lag with him, so we have a long flight ahead of us. This is about 15 hours from Miami to Tokyo via Dallas, so let's go to Japan. All right, here we are. We're going to take that beautiful Dreamliner. We're about to say sayonara to America, and we're about to say konnichiwa to Japan. Are you excited?
Yeah,
this is a dream trip.
All night to make it work.
All night. It's going to be the big trip.
Yeah, it's stay up all night. You can kind of see the effects.
Going to the land of the rising sun, but the sun's already set there, and we're about 13 hours.
Yay! And here we go.
So it's 1:30 in the morning there, and we arrive at 4:40 in the afternoon there.
Now you can turn the camera to your face.
So here we go. It's going to be a big trip. All right. All right, very excited for all of us, the Sloan family circus, to fly over to Japan. So it's going to be very soon a konnichiwa to Tokyo in about 14 hours, and I'm very happy because my system-wide upgrade came through, which those don't come through very often. And that's part of hitting American Airlines 2 million miler. So we are here on a Dreamliner, which is awesome because I was on the very first 787 ever for American and forever to Japan, which was last time I was there. And so super excited to head back to the land of the rising sun, especially when you're following this splash. This is my third time there, but it's Caleb's first time there. And that is what makes it so cool. He's going to be living in a science fiction movie. He's going to lose his mind, and that's really why we decided to go. So here we are. I'm in business for the first part of the flight, and Carla's going to come take a nap, and we're all going to switch off. And they're being they say it's exactly suffering. So, as they say, let's do this.
Tokyo here, going to be landing up there in about 30 minutes or so. That's going to put us to the gate, probably 30 minutes certainly. Folks, hope you enjoyed this trip. We're going to see you at the gate. Have a nice afternoon. Thanks, everybody.
All right, so we're circling over the Sea of Japan, and this is an interesting part of our trip. Getting there is half the fun because on this trip, as an airline geek, my 2 million mile status on American Airlines should clear. And that is cause for celebration, as is cause for celebration to be landing soon. But sometimes after these very bumpy flights, which you do get toward Japan, and there's a lot of congestion, you can just keep making long, lazy circles in the sky. So you get kind of an aerial tour of what you're going to see right before we land here in Tokyo Haneda Airport. All right, so now that Japan is coming into view, we're making our final approach here into Tokyo's Haneda Airport, and this is really a fascinating airport. Welcome to Tokyo, old meets new. Welcome to jet lag.
I'm good.
Hello, Kitty. Goodbye, Kitty. How do you guys feel? Are you ready to take on Japan?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. We're a little loopy. Believe it or not, it's my first time in Haneda. I've usually flown in Narita, and this airport is Tokyo's original airport, and in 1978, most international service shifted to Narita. But around 2010, a lot of international service returned, and as they built an international terminal. So this terminal and this airport is a lot closer to central Tokyo within 20-30 minutes depending by subway, versus Narita, which can be an hour and a half away. So we're going to do a quick exploring of the airport. In Japan, there are many enthusiasts of aviation, so you see these fascinating observation decks, and they're usually before security, which means people come and make a day out of it, bringing their chairs and just watching the planes go by. You have museums for the airports. And then, of course, lots of food halls. So Japanese love aviation, and it's just such a fun vibe to check out the airport. I know we're all super delirious and jet lagged, having just undergone about a 13-hour time zone change, but I can't resist doing what I'd like to do, which is prowl around airports, taking video, especially Haneda. All right, so I think the best way to introduce Caleb to Japan is to give him a true taste of Japanese rush hour and extreme claustrophobia on the subway. So we're gonna go strap hanging, and the thing about this is, normally in America, this would be my worst nightmare. I'm claustrophobic, I hate crowds, but the thing is, in Japan, everybody's so nice and orderly, and there's no pushing and shoving. Well, there's a little bit of that, but it's a polite pushing and shoving. And so here we are, braving the subway as we make our way for about 45 minutes from Haneda Airport into our first stop. And where would that be? That's going to Shinjuku. So we've arrived very late. It's late in the afternoon, early evening here in Shinjuku, which is very much the center of government and a business center. Not a lot of tourist attractions around here, but we're just gonna make our way and walk through the neighborhood and find our hotel. And it's beautiful weather. It's not too hot at the moment. You can hear the crickets and smells, and it's lovely. And here we are at our first hotel, the Hilton Tokyo in Shinjuku, Japan. And let's go check out our room. Well, I can already tell you that this room feels very lost in translation to me. You're going to hear a lot of my analogies with that movie. It was a Bill Murray classic from 2005. But the room is really fabulous. Looking around the hotel, it's just very lovely, and our room is panoramic views of the city, and then these beautiful shades, and which not only do we have the shades, but we have the doors to close it so you can have extreme blackout, because again, we're going to be in absolute time zone, space zone. But you know what? I think we're feeling pretty hungry for dinner. So here we are at Jonathan's Coffee and Restaurant, which sounds like it's titled like a normal American coffee shop. Well, it's not really. It's Japanese. So though it's their version of a coffee shop and diner, things are a little different. For instance, there really are no waiters or waitresses, and everything's on a screen. And you have a droid, actually the Hello Kitty droid, that is your server. And the nice thing here in Japan is you really don't have to worry about tips, but you don't especially have to worry about tips when you have a robot serving you. And so this robot here is serving us delicious meals and isn't giving us any snark and or trying to hustle us or trying to upsell us. And sometimes you have to be polite to the robot. This is Japan. If you're rude, it will back off, and or it'll start kind of laughing at you and giggling because everything is so gracious in here in Japan. So our first meal, it's really late, so I think Caleb's already getting a sense of just how bizarrely wonderful Japan is. Look, this one's like Lego Prize over here. Well, good morning. We're going to take a walk now from our hotel through the streets of Shinjuku and the subway system, and let's go walk around and see if we can figure out our way around. Now, the thing about Japan is that when we came here the first time 20 years ago, you would think that because there's very little English, well, there's actually more spoken than you think, but there's phonetic English, even though everything is in Japanese, and that makes it bizarrely easy to get around. And even that was before the days of Google Maps. But here we are, we're walking on the street, we're in the subway tunnels, we're reaching the subway station because we are headed to Takashita Street. Now, the cool thing about this place is you shop for pop until you drop. longer and longest next to a strawberry fetish. Location, location, location. Well, you always hear in Japan about cat cafes, but what you don't hear about, and is a surprise to us, is the mini pig cafes. Now, this isn't kosher by any stretch of the imagination, but we did this for the Pigstagram. Clearly, I am hogging all the pigs. My pig posse actually is called Pigs in a Blanket, so let's meet our oinkalicious friends here in the pig cafe. You have your first contestant. Oh, Carly, you've got 2 pigs. Hold on. Show me your pigs. Oh, you've got 2 pigs. You got a 2-for-1 special. Carla's running right now. It's a competition. Carla has got 3 pigs. I don't want to step on a pig. Oh, no. You got to quit bogarting all the pigs. It's actually a pig fed station. Oh, what am I supposed to think there? Well, he doesn't want any, that pig doesn't want any part of me. I thought it was the MPEG cafe, like a file, like we're gonna play with JPEGs or MPEGs, not pigs.
MPigs.
MPEGs.
JPigs.
All right, pigs in a blanket, that was fun. And by the way, another Japanese invention. I mean, the Japanese come up with inventions for things you don't even think there would need to be an invention for. And so, I don't know, how did we ever live without slipper dispensing machines? Because, you know, this is a sanitary place, and you wouldn't want to take your borrowed sandals and handle them with like something as gross as your hands or your feet or something like that. But, I don't know, this is something that even the minds of Dyson probably couldn't think of. Well, we're feeling like a little lunch might be in order, and what we've discovered here is the original flagship restaurant for Kura Sushi. And what we've also discovered that in this anime revolving sushi dojo, you better have, I don't know, not mind waiting in line for hours, or you need to put in reservations days before. We actually have a restaurant like this, and it's actually a Kura branded restaurant in Miami. Caleb just loves it, and so we so want to take him here, but it looks like we could be stuck here for hours, and I don't know if we have the patience for that, so maybe we'll come back. But take a look at this funky place. It's got everything our son loves. It's got anime, sushi. What is not to love when you're 15-year-old? Okay, we have arrived at the Don Quijote Store, and the Don Quijote stores are a Japanese, very famous tourist attraction and very famous for the locals. They actually have them in Hawaii as well, and it's hard to really describe this except as like a multi-level Costco of absolute weirdness. And so you can get everything from bizarre condoms to toys to toilets to really, really bizarre snacks that are like something you would eat on Fear Factor. Personally, I'm going to pass on the tarantula, but the, I don't know, maybe the giant cricket, I'm going to pass on those too. But at the Don Quijote, there's a lot of really bizarre things. Not so bizarre things, truly Japanese, and we're going to see this all over the trip, is their obsession with Kit Kats. Multi-thousands of Kit Kat flavored chocolate bars, limited edition Kit Kats. And where we think in America we've got like 3 or 4 flavors, they have seasonal ones here. So break me off a piece of those weird, famous Japanese Kit Kat bars. I wish we could have 6 suitcases just to bring these back, even though they would probably melt. So now we're on to Tower Records in Shibuya, and Tower Records, for people of a certain age, most people I think in America will remember records and CDs, but Tower Records was this incredibly famous record store chain that began in Los Angeles and San Francisco on the West Coast, and for many, many years was just iconic of setting musical standards. But thank God it still lives here in Japan, and there's 7 stories of musical, physical media goodness. And why do I say that? The Japanese still love records and tapes and CDs in this incredibly forward country. You still have
physical media. And one of the themes of this country, I always say, is it's tomorrow's country yesterday, or yesterday's country of tomorrow, because though things are seeming like you're in a sci-fi movie into the future, a lot of things are stubbornly clinged on to from the past, and which is a great thing, especially when it comes to this record store and Tower Records. I could spend my entire trip in here, and there was a movie about Tower Records called All Things, I believe, Must Come to an End, and they really focused a lot on the Tower Records store here in Tokyo, which first opened in 1983, and these don't exist anywhere else in America anymore, but thank goodness there's still quite a few of them in Japan, and here in Shibuya, Tokyo is the Flagship. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Japan boasts the highest number of 7-Elevens in the world with over 20,000 locations, and now they own the corporation worldwide, which actually started in Texas. So why you want to go here is the travel hack that everybody who visits Japan learns. It's all about the delicacies. Gourmet food that's cheap and fast. This isn't just crappy hot dogs and warmed over chicken fingers. This is bento boxes, sushi, sandwiches, particularly egg salad, and so much more.
Extra stimulus. Extra stimulus.
So I think it's time for us to go over to the Shibuya crossing. And what is this famous for? Well, look at this time-lapse footage. This is called the famous Shibuya Scramble, and at any given moment there's about 5,000 people crossing the street within about a minute and a half before the cars, and then the people scramble, and then the cars, and the people scramble, and it's like, I don't know, this is crazy. I decided to stand in the middle of it, take video. You're not going to get run over by cars. You could get run over by people and be trampled. But in the middle of it, it's just absolute chaos and bedlam. But like everything in Japan, it's organized and methodical and polite chaos and bedlam. So this is the Shibuya Scramble, the most famous and busiest crossing street in the world. So we are going to walk around Shibuya, and Shibuya is, again, an area where you have a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses, a lot of walking, a lot more walking, some sushi, a lot of beer. There's a lot of beer everywhere. What's also really nice is the Japanese used to be smokers, like famous smokers, and they still have a high smoking rate, but there's nobody there. That's illegal. You cannot smoke in public, basically. So everything is just spotlessly clean. There's no smoke anywhere. There's no garbage on the streets. And everybody's also very orderly. Even though it's crowded, nobody crosses the street unless the light says you can cross. There's no jaywalking. The Japanese are famous rule followers. And even in this kind of crowded place, you can see that. And so we're walking through this neighborhood, and it's got to tell you, it's getting late in the day. We're pretty exhausted. We're pretty tired. We're just looking for a place to eat. So we have found a dinner place. This one is called Gokubure. And what would you expect to be at Gokubure? Of course, sushi. So the sushi on a conveyor belt thing, well, that is you don't see it that often in America. I mean, you're seeing it more often now. It certainly was a novelty. Well, here it's just everywhere. And you can pick and choose, and even the burger place has sushi, which I think is really, really cool. And burgers are delicious too. They're kind of obsessed with burgers here, and burgers and sushi together. But the conveyor belt still can't get enough of that. It's a la carte, and of course, just like in America, the plates and signify different prices. And this is, I think, when we were here 20 years ago, the thing we were most impressed with that we'd never seen before was the sushi carousels. All right, so because our sushi dreams at Kura did not come true, at least for the first day, we decided to make our son's head explode. And where would that be? We are in Nintendo World here in Tokyo. And so as you can see, this mall has an entire level dedicated to anime, mangas, Pokemon, and all the ilk. Now these Pokemon, this is a big deal. I don't really even understand it. I don't understand the cards, I don't understand the culture, but Caleb does. And you can tell I barely understand it because I said Pokemon instead of Pokemon. Ugh, dad joke. Anyway, the Nintendo store even has its own world-exclusive version of Pokemon Go Collect Them All cards, and that's after, of course, you stand in a 2-hour checkout line. Now, the thing about Japan is standing in line and queuing up politely in long lines is a national sport. I think it's something they're very proud of, or at least they tolerate. Well, Pikachu on this, Japan's kawaii, did I pronounce that right? Character art and all of its adorableness is a strong part of Japanese culture that has just taken the global pop art world by storm. Or is that storm a tsunami? Anyway, bad dad joke, but look at all this fabulous art and you can see the big eyes. Well, that's like found in everywhere and everything. I think I'm being watched.
And then we changed one more train, the A. Absolutely genius. These subway systems here are the best in the world. I mean, down to the minute when you're going to arrive. It's been this way since we were here for 20 years. It's remarkable. Public transportation doesn't get any better. Perfectly clean and efficient. So good. All right, look here, guys. What's that behind us?
The Tokyo Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Sky Tree.
Oh.
King Kong did not do this
Sky
one,
Tree.
but Megadon might. This is
Megadon?
I don't know, like another. Who beats up King Kong? Godzilla?
Godzilla.
No. King Kong would. Godzilla lives on the Tokyo Tower. King Kong might leave from New York and come try to conquer him and take over the Sky Tree. Are you tired yet? Do you feel like you're exhausted and ready to go home? Oh, we're just beginning this trip. I mean, literally just beginning. So here we are on top of Tokyo. We're at the famous Sky Tree, and this time we didn't feel like provoking Godzilla at his house at the iconic Tokyo Tower. I've been there a few times, and that place is really cool. It's kind of like the Eiffel Tower, if you will, of Tokyo. So we opted for the Tokyo Sky Tree, and if you look at this, it's pretty astounding. And it's also a broadcasting and observation tower in Sumida, Tokyo. At 2,080 feet in height, the Tokyo Sky Tree is the tallest tower in the world and also the tallest structure in Japan. And it's also, here's another cool fact, the third tallest free structure in the world, and that's only behind the Burj Khalifa in Dubai and the Merdeka in Kuala Lumpur. Pretty astounding, towering to dizzying heights. And this is the primary television and radio broadcasting site for the Kanto region. And the old Tokyo Tower that I mentioned no longer really gives complete digital television terrestrial broadcasting because it's been hemmed in by so many tall buildings around it. So that's one reason why they built this. And or maybe they were just too tired of dealing with King Kong and Godzilla's antics and all that. So so they decided to move and build something new and hoping he wouldn't find it. This is a incredible observation deck, super touristy, super attraction, and the only advice I have is if you have vertigo or you're afraid of heights, just don't look down. So let's just take in these vast panoramic views from 1,150 feet in the air on the observation deck of the Tokyo Sky Tree. And on the Sky Tree, from here you can see forever, or at least 43 miles of the greater Tokyo region, including Tokyo Bay and Yokohama. Now, how big in scale is this pulsing metropolis? Well, just consider this.
Tokyo is the largest city by population in the world, and when looking at the Tokyo metropolitan area, the population is roughly in the 37 million people neighborhood. New York City, by comparison, including all 5 boroughs, pales in comparison with just a measly 9 million people. So look down there, they're all down there. Wow.
It's a Japanese swap shop.
Well, not too far from the Sky Tree, just a few subway stops, is the market in the Asakusa Neighborhood. This one's a little tough to pronounce. Asakusa. And this remained a major entertainment district. In particularly, it was famous as a theater district before the war, but it was heavily damaged by U.S. bombing raids during that time, and particularly around March of 1945 and the firebombing of Tokyo. And the area was rebuilt after the war, but has now been surpassed by Shinjuku and other more colorful areas in the city in its role as like a pleasure district. Now, I'm talking about pleasure, not red light district, but more when I say pleasure, this is like bric-a-brac tourist spots to me. And you can see these markets are super crowded, and the neighborhoods are like it's pretty faceless, and unfortunately that's what happened to a lot of Tokyo during World War II when it was bombed. Significant amount of it were leveled, and so a lot of this post-war construction, which was put up very, very quickly, was pretty much lacking character and looked very bland and just utilitarian by necessity. And that's still, a lot of that still exists today, even though, of course, a lot of the new modern architecture is as brilliant and beautiful as anywhere you'll find in the world. But that is this particular neighborhood.
There is absolutely no possibility of getting a clean shot of here. I bet even if you're up at 2 or 3 in the morning. But we tried. Welcome to Senso-Ji Temple. This is an ancient Buddhist temple, and it's Tokyo's oldest established temple, and it's one of the most significant temples, the oldest Buddhist temple in Tokyo. We have the main hall, a 5-story pagoda and large gates. It's the most widely visited religious site in the world, over 30 million visitors annually. This temple was destroyed during World War II in 1945, and so it was rebuilt in 1950.
And the highlight of this neighborhood is the Senso-Ji Temple. And this is an ancient Buddhist temple and one of the most significant temples in Buddhism. And it's dedicated to Kannon. And this was, really, I don't know what the exact word was, but this is a place all about compassion. And this exceeds Mecca, if you can believe it or not, as the world's most widely visited religious site. Again, in the world with over 30 million visitors annually. I didn't believe it, but a good portion of them showed up during our visit when it was about 105 degrees, so I guess I can believe it. The temple dates back to the 6th century AD, but the main hall was damaged during the March 1945 Allies bombing of Tokyo toward the end of World War II, and it was rebuilt in the 1950s as a symbol of resilience. Now, we were shocked by these swastikas looking symbols, as you can see, like the Nazi symbols. Of course we would be shocked. But on Japanese maps, a swastika is left-facing and horizontal, and this is used to mark the location of a Buddhist temple. So in this case, it's all good here in the beautiful Senso-Ji ancient Buddhist temple. So the Senso-Ji temple attracts many Japanese in traditional geisha and komodo garb for photos, worship, and fortune seeking. You get my Tokyo drift, but they come everywhere for these photo shoots and for graduation shoots, and it's really interesting to still see people in that very historic aesthetic and apparel that dates back hundreds and hundreds of years.
Mastering the art of the Japanese vending machine. Does it take yen pay? Did you try the Pocari Sweat? I want to hear the verdict of this. I've always wondered what this tastes like.
What is this?
Tell me what you think. It's like the #1 sports drink. It's like Japanese Gatorade. What do you think?
No. I thought it was
Look over here.
It's fire.
Is it? It's really good. What does it taste like? Water or they say like grapefruit juice or something. The vending machines here, super complex. I think there's a PDF. Is there a PDF for this?
They're not. They're easy.
Oh, okay.
I just couldn't get my dollar to work.
Citizens of America.
Because this is the red state.
Yeah. Oh, Anthony lives here.
You gotta put your stick in. Where's your stick?
I don't have a stick.
And you wish for all the women to come to you. And behind door number. Oh yes, you tied it. Only if you had a bad fortune, tie it to the rack. If
Yo,
it's
I
a
got
good.
a battle line.
Oh, then you got tied to the rack quickly.
Your request will not be granted. Don't get relaxed to care patient. The
That's
last
crazy.
article will not be found. The person you wait for will not appear.
Damn.
See, don't be glib when making your prayers.
You know, fortune cookies are generally free.
Hey,
These
it's
are
fine.
like
It's fine.
100,
I've already had that grants hit like 5
100
times.
yen.
Alright, I thought it was 7.
All right.
It was 7.
Let's lose the
Thank
bad
you for-
fortune cookie karma. I mean, I'm usually just there for the cookies, not the fortune. Ah, fortune. What does your fortune say?
Bad fortune.
Yep.
How do you know?
I guess they're all bad. Something wrong will be upon you and get a hard trouble, accused and into law by other people.
That's crazy.
I wonder if you can buy good fortune insurance or something here.
No.
Yo,
This is a scam.
100 yen just.
This is a 500-year-old, 1,000-year-old scam.
It's like,
Better tie that up. You don't want to take that home with you.
yeah, everybody's got a bad fortune.
Well, some people are holding on to them for souvenirs, but we know that's not so useful. Well, after all this exploring, we're absolutely famished, not to mention excruciatingly hot. So we're ducking into this modest little sushi restaurant, and what do we find? Yes, yet another vending machine. You can't actually order or pay with another human. It's Japan, so of course you have to use that ubiquitous vending machine. Well, at least you're going to have real humans, and friendly ones at that, deliver your food or your drink. Not robots in this little place. There's simply not room. Here, I'll tell you how it works. I'm taking the beer,
Right.
because you don't drink, you're not old enough, and you can take the dumpling.
All right. So give me the beer right now. Okay.
Describe.
As you guys know, as an American, I have a very high spice tolerance. You can't see under my sunglasses, but I'm winking. It's very low, so we're gonna try it
I
anyway.
think you'll start crying, actually.
All right, we'll see.
It's like the hot ones.
Delicious. Yeah.
Let's get those slurping sound effects. We're off to fold them in. What are those eggs? What is all that?
So good.
Oh, this is a huge, huge Japanese department store. Ginza Karen. So here we are in the not really seedy underbelly of Tokyo's vast underground city, which is connected by long corridors and anchored by metro stations. But navigating around the doors is the trick to easily getting around and avoiding the heat and cold. So sometimes this is a very welcome place to be when it's extremely hot or extremely cold outside. And though it looks like kind of dark and seedy in places, you never really have to watch your back here in Japan. It's just so completely safe. And that is one of the wonderful, wonderful attributes of being here. So my favorite spot in all of Tokyo is the magnificent lungs of Tokyo Ueno Park. And I visited in 3 or 4 seasons with spring still on the list because I'd love to see its famous cherry tree blossoms. This is Japan's most popular city park, and it dates back to 1873, not unlike New York City's Central Park. The shrines, pond, and 8,800 trees are pure calming beauty, providing an urban oasis. But the lotus beds and the carp who navigate them of the pond is without a doubt the park's signature. This is what blew me away. I remember last time I was here, actually last 2 times I was here, is just the endless amounts of lily pads, and look at the bamboo. Isn't that just stunning? Oh my God. And also, if you look closely, This is a paradise for carp. I don't think any Waze or Google Maps in the world could get me through there.
Now in the winter, the locusts fall off, the tree leaves fall off and the lily pads dissipate, becomes very brown and kind of, I wouldn't say ugly, but it's just like, it looks nothing like this. It's like two different places. But at this time of the year, it is just magical. It is that dense. But underneath there, trust me, there is water. There are wetlands.
Oh, look, these are wishes you can write on here.
All right, this being Japan, it's time for another bizarre snack break. And who's up for some shaved ice? And look at the flavors. We have A1 steak sauce flavored, wasabi, horseradish, and miso. And I wouldn't be surprised, but the boy went for the more traditional grape and berry combo. I mean, actually that was a surprise because Caleb is very, very adventuresome. But as for me, I'm the same way. I don't think I'm going to have it for Worcestershire flavored shaved ice, even on a hot day. It just kind of, oh, look, here's one that's with garlic. Yeah, total pass. I'll just go the regular. Now, the central island of Ueno Park houses a shrine to Bensaiten, and Bensaiten was the goddess of fortune. Here again, you can purchase wishes and fortunes. You can purchase them and plant them and locate them and hang them, and that's really a very big thing. They're very, very spiritual here, and I don't really know much about Buddhism, but these temples really are everywhere, and people don't just come in and take pictures. They really, really interact. All right, so here on Ueno Park, we're going to do something super silly and touristy. We're just going to paddle around the pond on these funky-looking goose paddle boats. So just take in the scenes, the sounds, hear the giggling, and hear the cheering, and they see us if we can avoid bumping into people. It's like bumper boats, and let's just enjoy this little respite.
Come on, cycler.
Look at these culprits. They left me behind.
Because he wasn't listening to the guy who was clearly stating in Japanese.
No. He was saying, don't leave your family. Don't leave your family.
Yo.
This is evidence. This is like a bump dash cam.
Yo, USA.
Dash cam, we're going. We survived. The Love Boat. Ladies and gentlemen, that on this day, recorded in history, July 26, 2024, ready? You're Carla Kaufman Sloan. 3, 2, 1. All right. Wow. First time in history.
So we're overload on overdrive. Imagine a vertical 11-story Costco of nothing but action figures, anime, manga comic books, and ungodly crowd.
This is your dream come true. You are in Anime Town, an anime tower. But let's go to the right here because I think that's where the bigger one is.
And you have the legendary Radio Kaikan in Akihabara Electric City. This is Tokyo's electronic retail hub, and this is a nation obsessed by gadgetry. So looking inside, I don't know, again, just absolute mind-blowing overload, full frontal fascination as we navigate all these electronics and inventions and bizarre gadgets, who's-y, what's-it nots that we would never find in America, and then of course some we would. When I first came here years ago, there was a lot of cool things that I was looking for, like Blu-ray DVD recorders and a lot of interesting, strange digital audio recorders and things of that nature that we couldn't find back home. So this place totally was full of wonder for me. a pachinko parlor. So this is like an arcade for kind of a bizarre form of gambling that's really not gambling, but that's kind of like gambling, that's kind of like video games, or kind of like pinball machines, but not really, or kind of, sort of. In Japan, you have the pachinko parlors. And if you're concerned about having a seizure or hearing loss, this is not the place for you. And here we are in Akihabara, Electric Town City, and there are many, many pachinko parlors, oh plenty.
Got it.
So we are taking a quick lunch break here in Akihabara, Electric Town City, and in this area, like pretty much all of Tokyo, it seems so far, ordering sushi sets and pieces and meals from tablets and self-ordering screens. Well, that's just the norm here. It's quite efficient and actually ensures you get the right thing. It ensures your orders are not lost in translation. So I kind of like this. I mean, I wish I could have somebody to chat with. Maybe it's a local, though you can speak to some of the servers if the conveyor belts aren't working. But this is pretty neat, and you just gotta love the precision of the sushi no matter where you are, even if you're in a 7-Eleven. All right, so after this full frontal assault of Akihabara Electric Town City, we're going to come to a place that's a little more docile, a little more calm, but very huge. And it's a very sweltering, humid, hot day here in Tokyo, but we are here in the Imperial Gardens, and this is the home of where the Emperor's Palace is. Now, this dates back to the Edo era of the 17th century. The actual grounds of the Emperor's Palace are only open twice per year, and we are fortunate to be here 18 years ago when it was open on one of those days. I believe it was over the Christmas break. And it's this beautiful, calming oasis in the heart of Tokyo, but it's its peak beauty during the blooming spring and autumn leaf times of the year. So we didn't see all the flowers, and a lot of that makes this place come alive. It's very green, it's very verdant. It just doesn't have that absolute colorful explosion that it does have in those fall and spring months. Let's play ball. This is absolutely Dad's highlight. This is number one with a bullet on what I wanted to do here in Tokyo, and that is to go see a Major League Baseball game in Tokyo and in Japan. And why is that? Well, there was that Bad News Bears movie, I don't know, 40 years ago, where they went to Japan. The Bad News Bears go to Japan. And I was just like, I just wanted to see it. It just looked like it was ludicrous. And let me tell you, it is something to behold. So, baseball, like America, it's the national pastime. And tonight we are taking in a game at the Tokyo Yakult Swallows versus the Hiroshima Toyo Carps. Now, the Swallows are one of Tokyo's two major Japan pro leagues, kind of like New York has the Yankees and the Mets, and they have 6 Japanese series titles under their belt. Now, their opponent, the Carps, are kind of like the Chicago Cubs used to be. Note the similar logo. They've had a 40-year drought of titles, and I got to tell you, this is one crazy spirited crowd. When your team is at bat, you have to stand up, you have to sing, you have to chant and scream, and there's a director who is ostensibly works for the team or is just a very passionate volunteer, and it kind of conducts and dictates the cheers. They hold signs up, and there's a live band, and you sing. And so there's definitely standing room only. And for us, this is so cool because we're in the way out in the outfield where with everybody, I think we're the only Americans. And there's no benches, or there's just benches but no backs, so it's so uncomfortable, you really have to stand. And instead of the 7th inning stretch, each team gets to perform their fight song, and they are very competitive with their fight song, and they bring a band with them. Otherwise, the game is really just virtually the same as Major League Baseball, though the season's about 20 games shorter. Well, we waited 7 innings for a score before the Tokyo team scored 3 runs, and then the place erupted, and the crowd sells out. This baseball in Japan sells out. You got to plan ahead. This stadium is Japan's second oldest baseball park and opened way back in 1926. And it's famously and oddly, it's one of 4 baseball parks still standing where Babe Ruth played, and that was during a 1934 22-game tour of Japan series before World War II. So what an awesome experience, man. They just keep it old school here with more spirit than any athletic event I've ever been to, and the beer vendors can't be beat. Carla, 1 beer.
800.
Yes, 800 beer. So we couldn't find any hot dogs, peanuts, or Cracker Jacks at tonight's Tokyo Swallows ball game, but there was plenty of beer, and again, these beer vendors, and they're awesome. I mean, they carry beer on their back, and they're right there whenever you need it. I think they have some form of radar and ESP. They know beer that you're thirsty before you know you're thirsty.
Cheers, Asahi Meiji Jingu Stadium. We're about to see the Tokyo Swallows. The first I'm gonna swallow.
So we had plenty of tempura and some strange unidentified delicacies in the food hall. The food hall is just massive. A lot of fried chicken and a lot of things, again, we don't even understand what we're looking at or tasting. So we just start picking and choosing and grabbing, and the food hall in the concourse level was just magnificent. Today we're making a field trip outside of Tokyo to the iconic symbol of Japan, Mount Fuji-san. Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain in Japan at 12,389 feet and 7th highest peak on the island, really on any island in the earth. And Mount Fuji last erupted from 1707 to 1708. You can see the mountain about 60 miles southwest of Tokyo, and you can see it from the Japanese capital on clear days, though on our last visit in December of 2005, it was, as they said, a shy mountain shrouded in clouds. But today, the majestic mountain is visible with a lure of clouds beneath the peak, though without the snow cover, it's not quite as dramatic. You always have that snow on the peak against those brilliant blue skies. Today is kind of cloudy. It's not quite perfect, but fortunately, no active eruptions today. So far we've had just a whirlwind day going to Mount Fuji, and so I think it's time for a little lunch and maybe a bit of a break from sushi. So we're going to go with some shabu shabu. Slurp, slurp. Delicious. So I never met a touristy boat cruise I wouldn't take, and this is the mother of them all. Actually, it only lasts about 15 minutes, but it's still cool. Well, you know, we love nothing more, at least I do, than a super touristy lake trip. And we're gonna do a 30 minutes on one of the 5 sacred lakes surrounding Mount Fuji. You know, we're a sucker for a good boat tour. Cruising on Hakone Lake, or Ashinoko Lake, it is a crater lake known for its spectacular views of Mount Fuji, its numerous hot springs, historical sites, and ryokan, which are traditional hotels. Now, our sightseeing cruise with its kitschy pirate ships from the base to the port is really so short and delivers on the promise, but I have to say it was a lot calmer and warmer but a lot more crowd than the last time we were on this funky boat back in 2006 or 2005. Right behind touristy boat trips for me are touristy gondola rides up mountains and high places, and they call those ropeways. And we were on a ropeway, and this one's the Hakone Ropeway, named after the lake. And this opened in 2002, and it's only the second of its kind in Japan. It's part of the sightseeing route between Odawara and Lake Ashi, which covers 4,500 feet approximately in elevation. So we're going up. Now, what will we see up here? What will our panoramic views be? So we are 4,500 feet atop Hakone, and you can see the mountain, and we're overlooking Lake Shinjuku. And unfortunately, Mount Fuji has decided to become shy again and is hiding amidst the afternoon clouds and haze. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm beginning to take it personally. Like, you don't want to meet us, Mount Fuji? We'd love to meet you. But let's have a look around up here anyway. All right, well, this is as close as we're going to get to the obscured peak of Mount Fuji-san. I mean, we can see a little bit of it, but between the clouds, it's not as dramatic as it would be from where we are. This is the Fuji-Subaru Line 5th station, and this is approximately halfway point of the Yoshida Trail, which leads from the mountain's base to the summit. And it's a way station for the many climbers before their ascent, which only happens on foot. So at 7,000 feet above sea level, this station offers a commanding view of the Fuji Five Lakes rest area below, and it's a popular spot even for those of us who are not intent on climbing the mountain like us, because we don't have 8 to 10 hours to do that. And the real way to do it, the Primo Way, is an all-night climb to the summit at 12,000 feet so you can witness the sunrise. That's a bucket list item that we will have to wait until next time, I hope. But the 50 degrees cool and dry air temperature is a welcome temporary relief from Tokyo's oppressive summer heat and humidity, which I have to say is worse than Miami, and it has no breeze, so it's just beautiful up here. Smelling that and taking that mountain fresh air. The density of the Kanto region, containing the large metropolises of Tokyo and Yokohama, consists of 7 prefectures, and the density of this area, where 10% of the nation's 135 million people live, is astounding. And you can see it here on our bus ride. It just goes on. This is that Japanese miracle of just incredible rebuilding after World War II. All right, we are at the bullet train station, and we're going to take a quick bullet train ride back into central Tokyo as to end this incredible day. And it's really cool standing here at these. And we're going to be on much longer trips later, but they go by so fast, it literally is like a blur. And you can hear them, and then you see them briefly, and then boom, they're gone. So if they're not stopping at the station, it's just remarkable when you see what 180 miles per hour looks like. But I particularly like this shot. It's like these two are kissing. You can see 2 generations of kissing cousins of the bullet train. So we'll talk more about bullet trains later. But where are we going? Well, again, on the way back, you get to see views of the greater metropolitan Tokyo area. And this is an early generation bullet train. You can even tell by the interior, and we're not going quite as fast. So we've arrived at the busiest train station in Japan, Tokyo Station, and its glorious facade dates back to 1914. This place is really, really, really busy. And it's located in the business district near the Imperial Palace grounds. It serves 500,000 passengers and 4,000 train arrivals and departures per day. So pretty busy, but it's just glorious architecture inside and out. It's wonderful that this was preserved during the war. This is one of those places like the Imperial Palace that the Allies did not bomb, and we still have dividends paying for it today. It's been quite a day of exploring, and you know the phrase, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and that goes for Japan too. We're going to head up here to the very swank executive lounge here at the Tokyo Hilton, and this is one of the big perks of being a Diamond member. I stay in a lot of really middle-of-the-road Hiltons just so we get this kind of perk when the family travels. Not a bad spread. We are now off on our adventure here in Tokyo, and what better way to wake you up and jolt you back from your jet lag than the Tokyo Metro and morning rush hour. Oh my god. Now, my idea of the first through the 7 circles of hell is this. But the often passive Japanese, well, they do become quite pushy and shoving and sometimes aggressive on these sardine trains, but politely so. Now, I haven't seen the professional white glove pushers who shove people on the train this go around. You know, they cram people on the train for rush hour so everybody gets on, and they fill these trains as much as they possibly can. But these white glove pushers, and they really are called pushers, there were complaints, particularly in the Me Too era, because these people sometimes in a very undistinctive Japanese fashion would kind of get a little feel, a little groping, but they're not here today. What is here is a lot of people on the Tokyo Metro. Well, so you could figure out the surprise. We are now from one train to another, actually train to monorail, and we're on board the Tokyo Disney Resort's official monorail, and the Tokyo Disney Resort is all the way back at Haneda Airport. That's why we take the long train. And this loop gets you on board this really cool behind-the-scenes view of both parks, and that's Tokyo Disneyland and like the Magic Kingdom like they have in Orlando, which we're not going to see this time, but you get to see some shots of it. We figured we've kind of done that before, and if we had more time we would do it. We're on our way to Tokyo DisneySea, which is the only one of its kind in the world. Tokyo DisneySea is a uniquely themed Disney park inspired by the myth and legends of the sea. It features 8 immersive ports of call, as they call their lands, each offering distinctive vibes. Entrance into DisneySea, which is the only Disney theme park of its kind. This was originally supposed to be Hollywood Studios and opened in about a few days before September 11th in 2001, and now it is a crazy water-driven theme park, and we're going to check it out because it's, again, one of a kind. This is Mediterranean Harbor, which is the entrance to the park, and this is themed like an Italian port city named Porto Paradiso. There's Venetian gondola rides, a fortress, and the famous soaring fantastic flight. I was too afraid of getting nauseous on that one. Take off our hat. Is that Japanese for good luck? Ta-da! Bao buns.
More bao buns.
More bao buns, Mickey. And what do we have over here?
We have leek, fried chicken, dim sum.
Dim sum and then some. Nice. This is just a afternoon nice snack. Mickey Bao, Mickey Mouse. What is it?
Pretty brilliant.
Now we're at the American waterfront land. This depicts early 20th century America, and this port includes a New York City harbor, New England fishing village, and of course the famous Tower of Terror ride that you see in Hollywood studios and at Disneyland in the US, and the SS Columbia ocean liner. And the Broadway Music Theater. I just have to say, I love taking photos of other people taking photos. It's very, very meta. So here we are with some of the happiest faces on earth. Just look at how happy people are to be here at Disney. This is the happiest place on earth. It's the happiest place in Japan. It's the happiest place in Tokyo. And everybody's smiling. In general, people are pretty much smiling and friendly and upbeat here. But of course, it being Disney, that just means it's happiness exponentially so on steroids, or whatever they would call steroids here in Japan. So happy, happy, wave, wave.
Kids, I've been looking for them all my life. Tricks.
Now we've arrived at Mysterious Island, really the first stop, and I'd say kind of like the castle in Disneyland or Disney World, this is the park's most iconic spot, in my opinion, the volcano Mount Prometheus. And this area is themed around Jules Verne's novel, features the thrilling journey to the center of Earth and the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea rides. Weird flavored popcorn is a thing at Tokyo DisneySea. This is starting to sound like the weird, I don't know, frozen ice we had yesterday. But what will it be? What are we going to have? I don't know, black pepper, garlic shrimp, curry, matcha, milk chocolate, even roast beef flavor? Well, ask Caleb and Carla. They tried almost all, and they loved them all. As for me, I'm sticking to regular popcorn because this is kind of gag. Oh, but wait, you can't seem to find regular popcorn here in Japan because I guess the weird is the regular, is the normal? I don't know, but crunch, crunch.
安全のため最後まで座ったままお楽しみください。
Arigato, bye, bye, bye. Arigato. And now, set in the Central American jungle, is the Lost River Delta land, and this area features ancient ruins and archaeological sites. Key attractions include the Indiana Jones Adventure, Temple of the Crystal Skull, and the Raging Spirits roller coaster. Now we're pulling into Port Discovery, which is this futuristic marina
And this port's home to the Aquatopia ride and the DisneySea Electric Railway. So come on board, let's ride the train as we go to this marina of the future.
Oh, yours is so cute. Let's see.
It's a mouse.
Let me see. Oh,
Can I
it's
eat
a
mine?
mouse.
Let me eat it.
And feeling like Alibaba and the Arabian Nights, we find ourselves in the Arabian coast. And this port offers attractions such as Sinbad's Storybook Voyage, the Caravan Carousel, and the Magic Lamp Theater. And here's Fantasy Springs, which is the new addition to the park. It only opened about a year ago, and it brings to life the worlds of Frozen, Tangled, and Peter Pan ride, which we're going to do. And some of the other attractions are the Frozen Journey and Rapunzel's Lantern Festival, and there's even a themed restaurant and a hotel here. So this one's really fun too. 8 really amazing lands here at DisneySea. And now for the little kids, this is the Mermaid Lagoon, an indoor under-the-sea world inspired by Disney's Little Mermaid. And this is for like the younger kids with some really funky, colorful rides like Ariel's Playground. We did get wet on this ride, and the Peter Pan-san, that's me actually, the Peter Pan exhibit and attraction at the new Fantasy Springs at Tokyo DisneySea. This is just a wow ride. The video I'm showing you does not in any way do it justice. It's absolutely three-dimensional, and you feel like you're flying right there along with Peter Pan. And wow, so many lands, so little time. Tokyo DisneySea is really a 2-day experience, and this park is absolutely exquisite, and for me, my personal favorite of all the Disney parks worldwide. And best of all, as I said, it's the only one. So that's why there's the Disney Resort here. You have 2 parks, and we don't have time to go to the traditional Magic Kingdom, but this one is just so unique and creative and different. So, boy, I wish we had more time. Well, we've had a fantastic day here at the Tokyo Disney Resort, and to quote Caleb, we're just cooked.
Bye, bye. Bye. Are we going out? Yes, bye.
Well, so as long as we're here, let's have a little bit of Tokyo Nights, and we're vibing on the high-end shopping and dining hub of Tokyo, which is Ginza, where you have all the highest-end luxury brands and restaurants and bars, and this is really a place that is kind of like I guess you could say kind of like the Fifth Avenue of Japan, but the lights and are kind of overwhelming, but beautiful, really interesting, funky architecture. And it just feels like you're watching a movie like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift when you walk around here, and then you see some of the landmarks like the Seiko Clock Building and funky cabs, and it's very, very cool, and it crackles with energy. I've been here in the winter, and no matter what time of the year you are here, this place is super, super crowded. Well, here's something cool. A lot of the electronics companies, the Japanese the retail companies and automotive manufacturers have flagship stores, and here we are at the 50 years of Tokyo Drift Fast and Furiousness. This store, you can see the old and the new, and so this is the original Nissan Skyline, and then the current GT supercar, and the concept electric hyperpunk vehicle. So all this is converged in one funky place, and just felt I had to show it to you. So this is a pretty good way to end the night, is seeing some cool funky cars, and this pretty much ends our voyage to Tokyo. So that's Ginza. So for now, sayonara Tokyo, and we will see you again very soon. Domo arigato, Tokyo. Konnichiwa, Tokyo. Well, the Sloans have landed, wandered, high-teched, been enchanted by, dined, shopped, and shrine hopped our way through Japan's incredible capital city. Tokyo's just dazzled us with its incredible electric energy and timeless tradition, so arigato Tokyo, you've been unforgettable. But wait, we're just getting started. We've got more videos to come up. Hello, Kyoto, where ancient temples, geishas, and tranquil bamboo forests greet us with grace. Hiroshima, and this is a powerful journey through history, resilience, and hope, but it's also just a beautiful city. Mirajima Island, home of the floating torii gates and magical mountain hikes. And then to wrap things up, Hokkaido and Sapporo. This is Japan's northern frontier of wild beauty, hot springs, and yes, legendary ramen and beer. This place is so on my bucket list and has been for years. So the Sloan's Take Japan continues, and trust us, you don't want to miss what's next, so keep watching the playlist, the subscribe buttons, and all that, and we've got a lot more to come.